It's the boy, Bubba Lutz, coming through. Hella clutch, flawless, can't be touched. It's your boy, Bubba Lutz. Yeah, I need that hot take. I need the truth and everything that is not fake. So tell me who's the GOAT, I'll tell you who's not great. And which team always make you go right way. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of the Bubba Lutz Sports Podcast, everybody. This is episode 234, and it is week 1 of the NFL season.
Dude, I woke up today. Well, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. I got back home from school today, ate breakfast, and the Fantasy Footballers podcast just went up. And literally, like, their opening intro is so, like, hardcore, and they were just screaming week 1. Oh, it got me so hyped. It got me so hyped. I can't wait.
It just, like, kind of... I remember when training camp started, I was like, man, we're getting pretty close. And then here we are, like we're, 2 days away from the first game?
2 days away.
It just happens to be the Cowboys game. We'll save that. I'll do a preview on it on Wednesday, or it'll come out on Wednesday, and then we'll have you back hopefully at the end of the week for the review, which will definitely take up a lot of your time to listen to or watch, because we are going to go off on the 0-1 Cowboys. Just spoiler alert. Today, and right now, what we're going to focus on is the other week 1 matchups. We're going to go through all of them, not extensively on every single one. There's going to be some skips on there, quick predictions, but there are some that are really catching our eye, and there's like 2 obvious ones where we're like, this is going to be really fun to watch.
Prime time football, like we will be seeing them 4 months down the line.
Yeah,
action.
Potential championship matchups in week 1, which will be really nice. But we got to go through all of them, just give our predictions real quick and see how we're gonna fare after 1 week of the NFL season. So, I mean, I'm excited to just go back and watch football all day long.
Yeah, man. So Sundays are gonna have meanings again. To be fair.
I mean, you did have college football this past weekend.
That was fun. I actually really enjoyed the first week of college football back. I think, like I mentioned in the last one, like I haven't been able to watch college football in so long, so it was really nice seeing a lot of games. It was cool.
Someone forgot to mention or tell the Miami football program that college football started, and I don't think they showed up against Alabama. They had a game against the Crimson Tide.
I think the defensive coordinator forgot his players. I don't know what happened.
Definitely forgot the chain.
Well, no, technically no. The chain came out, but they had to put it back in because the call got reversed.
Listen, you take what you can get, right?
Yeah. Hey man, it came out for like 20 seconds. So
subtle wins, little wins. They all matter.
Listen. All I know is I'm happy that my Longhorns were able to beat the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns. Sounds like a hot sauce, dude.
I mean, it basically is.
Yeah.
Louisiana hot sauce.
Yeah. So it was a good game. We'll see. But I think the biggest disappointment was Clemson and Georgia. That game was whack.
Well,
I mean, if you like defenses,
let's be fair. Like, Georgia's defense plays good throughout the season, and then at the very end, when they're like, "You're close to getting into the playoff," and they're like, "Fuck, we actually have to play good."
Yeah.
And then Clemson, they'll somehow still beat people by 60.
It's Dabo.
It's Dabo.
Yeah.
However you say their quarterback's name, I'm just going to call him DJ.
I wouldn't even dare try, to be honest.
That didn't look good.
Did not look good. No, very disappointing game. I was expecting a good game, a good shootout, but no, very defensive. Looked like the Rams and Patriots Super Bowl that one year.
And that was a chess match, though. That was because they were so good.
Yeah, but we want to see shootouts in the Super Bowl. Come on.
I guess. Well, you ain't gonna see Georgia in the Natty, so don't worry about that.
No.
Let's get into this, okay?
All right, let's get it.
We go through the Cowboys and Bucks game at a later time.
Yes.
Bucks are winning. Easy as that.
It's very clear that unless a miracle happens, or unless every single possible move that happened this last offseason for the Cowboys actually works and clicks in tremendously, it's not gonna work out.
If every Bucs defensive starter gets COVID, God forbid, and has to be on the list 2 days before the game, there's no way the Cowboys win this game.
No. But like we said earlier, I'm okay with like a 34-24 loss.
Fine with that.
A 31-20 loss. Okay.
Hurts a little bit more, but we'll take it.
Yeah.
What I'm scared of is a 31-6 with the Bucs having more sacks than the Cowboys do points.
First downs or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that offensive line is scaring me. But Bucs win.
Bucs win more than likely, yes.
Cowboys get humbled and they lose the division. Okay, week 1 already set in stone.
Relax.
But how about we start off the NFL Sunday with the game of the week?
Oh.
The Jaguars going to Houston against the future 0-17 Texans.
You know, I'm actually kind of excited about this game to a certain extent. This is one of those games we're not going to talk about a lot, but I'll lay down my thing real quick. I really want to see this new, because apparently everything about them is new. I really want to see this new Jacksonville Jaguar team. I want to see Sunshine. Look, wouldn't it be amazing if Sunshine just came out and threw for 4 and 3 touchdowns in his opening debut against the winless Texans? Oh, great. I want to see Sunshine. I want to see James Robinson. I want to see, I just want to see a great game by the Jaguars, and I want to see them pummel the Texans because they're just not going to do anything.
I like the reports that have come out over the last couple of days where the Houston Texans are saying we're gonna sit Deshaun Watson, like that, like it's their choice.
So formal.
Wow, that was. You know what? All those times where you said, "Hey, Deshaun, come back. We know that you have like 10 cases against you. Deshaun, please come back. I know you got 14 cases against you. Oh, it's 22 now. We're going to have to sit you, bud.
We're going to sit you out, buddy. I'm sorry.
We got to go with Tyrod.
22 is a little bit bigger than 14. Sorry.
We can't do it anymore. We really can't.
No.
Hands are tied here, right?
Yeah.
But as long as we got 4 different running backs that are going to have like 10 carries in this game.
And a quarterback that will somehow be out by week 3. And it's not even his fault.
Yeah.
Something will happen to him.
And I can't name you anyone on this defense. So, yeah, Trevor Lawrence getting 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. Fine by me. Won't be shocked.
No. But I really want to see Jacksonville just explode. This is like their test game. This is where it's like, okay, everything that we've done in the past offseason, all that, let's all show it out right here and see if it works. And then we'll adjust it in the coming weeks for, obviously better opponents. But
you couldn't have asked for a better week 1 opponent and a new helm of Urban Meyer, new coaching staff, new everything, and you're going against the worst team in all of football, and you desperately need a win, not just a W on the score sheet, but I'm saying
a motivational
motivational because this offseason has been kind of terrible for Urban Meyer, and the player reports or rumors that saying that it's not good in Jacksonville right now, and then the whole Tim Tebow fiasco, nothing has come good out of Jacksonville until week 1 when it really matters. So Jacksonville wins this, and if Houston wins by some miracle, hell's gonna freeze over. This is going to be the weirdest day in all of football, because that just sets the tone for the rest of the league. That's the Texans won? We're in trouble. Anything can happen at this point.
Yeah, it's this should be a Jaguars win.
It should be. The first game that I really want to look into and talk about is the Los Angeles Chargers heading over to Washington against the football team.
It's going to be such a good game.
I love this matchup. Probably my favorite matchup of the weekend. despite some other ones being on there that I like really want to watch. But I think this one for me is top tier. Like, we are going to learn so much from this game, and like there's so many storylines to talk about. But like, most importantly, I just love the battle of the trenches that's gonna be in this game. Like, we're talking about Chargers offensive line and defensive line for the Washington football team. These matchups are going to be in fucking insane, man. We can name them all, but how about we just start it off with Rashawn Slater and Chase Young? Oh.
You know, it's funny because this past preseason, it's been pretty apparent, and it's been reported that Penei Sewell's not doing that good over there in Detroit.
Who would have thunk it?
A little unfortunate over there. So maybe Rashawn Slater should have gone first. I don't know, but it's gonna be really interesting because, I mean, look, just in general, because you got an absolutely, sorry, I have like something in my eye. Jesus Christ. You have like an offensive line that by far probably the best in the NFL. Can we agree with that?
The Chargers?
No. I said defensive line.
Oh, defensive line. I'm sorry. Oh,
yes,
absolutely. Not even close.
Absolutely. Okay. And then you have an offensive line that has been reformed a little bit for Herbie, right? You got Rashawn Slater, and then if I remember correctly, Brian Bulaga came.
Brian
right?
Bulaga.
From the Packers?
They went shopping in Green Bay. You know, they got
shopping.
some nice shops over there because they also got Corey Linsley.
Corey Linsley's now in Los Angeles. That's right. So look, Herbie's got protection now, but is it good enough for all those four freaks of nature?
Mm-hmm.
Literally, all of them are just insane, right? Man, I don't know. I think if anything, like, I agree with you that matchup is going to determine the game 100%. 100%.
Yeah. Like, you can even say it on the opposite side because of the new man that's on the sidelines for the Chargers, Brandon Staley, in his first game as head coach.
Brandon Staley.
But think about it, man. Like, think about the defensive strategies that are going to go into this game, because we're going to see a new version of this Chargers defense that has returning players due to injury, and they're going to be healthy. But think about, like, Brandon Staley and what he's done in Los Angeles with the Rams. He made them already great defense, a better defense statistically. So now it's his first game. So you got Brandon Staley. Don't forget about Jack Del Rio. Like, Jack Del Rio has done amazing things in his first year alone as the Washington football team defensive coordinator. Like, Ron Rivera gets a lot of credit, and for what he had to go through last year, his battles with cancer, and then still having to basically build this team from scratch. Amazing things, but I think a lot of credit does go to Jack Del Rio for not only exceeding expectations for that defense, but bringing out the best in all of those four players up front. Like, those guys are great, but they're better now because of him. So I love what's going on here defensively in this game. This is a great test for not only Ryan Fitzpatrick, the veteran journeyman that's going into his best scenario with a team. Like, this is the best team he's ever been on, with the most weapons. I would say so. I
better than Tampa with Godwin, Evans.
I mean, but it wasn't like how it is now. Like, it's not what Tom Brady has what Ryan Fitzpatrick should have had. Like, Ryan Fitzpatrick never had the opportunity to have this type of offense in Tampa.
Okay, fair enough.
And I honestly think that you can make the case that it's better in Washington because they're so dynamic in so many different ways. Like, with the acquisitions and what they had already. Like, I'm taking Terry McLaurin over Mike Evans, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's because Mike Evans is very touchdown dependent. He's going to get most of his results in around the goal line area, while Terry McLaurin can do basically anything.
He can do anything.
Yeah.
And then the running backs, like, I know there's like 50 of them in Tampa, but like, you only need really one in Washington with Antonio Gibson. But they also added Curtis Samuel, so you can add that into the element. But Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think this is the best scenario he's been in. And then for Justin Herbert in his second year, can he replicate what he did last year? Because we know he's good. We know how good he can be. And in training camp, this dude's throwing bombs like he's Josh Allen. But in week one, of the 2021 season, you're going against one of the best defenses in all of football. How do you fare against that? How do you fare against one of the best defenses you're going to see all year long?
I think the other thing to look at too is like, this is like how you mentioned, like with Ryan Fitzpatrick, it's, week 1 we always get Fitz magic, right? We always get Fitz magic.
The Sammy Watkins of quarterbacks.
Basically, right? So it's gonna be really interesting to see if Fitz magic is gonna come out, or maybe somehow the Chargers stop him because Brandon Staley knows what he's doing, right? Mm-hmm. But then, I'm also, so we already talked about, the Washington offense, Washington defense, the Chargers offensive line. Look, there's 2 players that kind of like stick to my mind too as well. I'm really excited for Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler. Specifically Austin Eckler, just because, dude had literally his like season destroyed last season. Poor guy. But now that he's back, he's healthy. We all know what he can do. An older Christian McCaffrey, per se, right? Dude is just an absolute freak. And then, you got Keenan Allen, who's like, the uncontested, like, number 1 in Los Angeles. In Washington, Curtis Samuel is going to be a really, really great number 2 that can help out Terry and not have Terry just be double covered all the time or something, right? But in Los Angeles, it's not the case. Mike Williams has never really lived up to that potential that they thought he was going to be when they drafted him. He's good, don't get me wrong. He makes great catches. He does what he has to do. But, when you think about the Chargers and the receiver, you think about Keenan Allen, right? Mm-hmm. There's nobody else. So I think it's going to be a big task for Keenan Allen because, Herbie's going to be under pressure. He's going to be under pressure, and Keenan Allen better be ready to make some plays because those routes are not going to be perfect all the time. But look, we all know Allen's a beast, so we'll see. This should be a very, very good game. I'm not going to lie to you, this one is a little bit hard to predict a winner or loser, but if I had to choose, I think I'm going to choose LA.
Okay.
The only reason why I choose LA is because, like I said, we don't know what we're going to get out of Fitzpatrick. We don't know what we're going to get out of Curtis Samuel. That offense for Washington is currently unproven. The volume is high. I'm sorry, not the volume. The ceiling is high. They have a bunch of studs on that offense. I completely agree. But I want to see what they do first. The defense is going to be fantastic, obviously, no matter what. But that offense first is what I want to see what they do. While when you go to the other side, it's basically the same offense, if not even better because of the line. So I think as of right now, I think Chargers have the slight edge to take this win, in my opinion.
I'm gonna go Washington here.
Okay.
I think that people are gonna be surprised at how good and disciplined Washington is already.
I wouldn't even doubt it if they won, honestly.
Like, I think they're poised to go far this year, and they got to start with winning that division. I think they are like focused on that. I'm gonna like lay off the gas on Brandon Staley just for like 1 week because I love the acquisition, I love the hire, but I think this is gonna be a good learning experience for that team. Yeah. Good test. Yeah. And then they go into week 2 against the Cowboys, and they'll be like, all right, like now we can do our thing after a tough week 1 matchup. As long as we get out of here without any major injuries, we'll be fine. But if it's a close game, I think they take that. Even though they're used to losing close games, I think it will be like, all right. We're fine now.
Better for once.
We lost the close game, but that was a tough week 1 matchup. I think the Chargers definitely can win this game, but I feel like Washington has the momentum right now to make a strong push early on in the season and get that early lead in the division. So, yeah, I'm going Washington. I have belief in Ryan Fitzpatrick, but I think it's more the coaching staff and that defense that's going to get them the win in week 1. But I will say, fantasy owners are all over this game.
Oh, I am.
Like, it's just fantasy galore.
I have Keenan Allen and I have Logan Thomas in just that one game. So, and I also have the Washington defense, by the way. So,
yeah.
So we'll see.
It's going to be really fun to watch. I think that's going to be the game of the week for me.
It's going to be a really good game. Like I said, either or, flip of the coin, but I think it's going to land on the Chargers. Yeah. So go to the next.
Next one we got is Seahawks traveling to Indianapolis against the Colts. As of right now at 3:22 p.m. on Tuesday, September 7th. We don't know if Carson Wentz is going to play.
It was my understanding that he wasn't. That it just wasn't looking good at all.
They said he practiced yesterday, and he looked good. He? Yes.
Okay, I did not see that. The last thing I saw was that it wasn't looking good.
But it's still a day-to-day thing as to whether he's going to play on Sunday. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you got a couple days to really think about it, but at the same time, it's like this dude...
It's already Tuesday.
I mean, we went from possible season-ending injury to it's not going to take the whole season to he's already back on the practice field to he may start week 1. How do we go from like, oh, man, that's a tough loss to...
It's a pretty big jump.
Like, I don't know what to think of this because this is really going to determine for me who's going to win this game. Like, the Colts, to me, are the better team. They are the better team on paper.
Yeah.
And having Carson Wentz does help that a little bit because I do think he'll resurge this year. But Sam Ehlinger looked good in preseason. Jacob Eason looked good in preseason.
Yeah.
And they're really more dependent on the running game than they are in their passing game, especially with what quarterbacks they have right now. And their defense has won them a lot of good games last year and over the last couple of years. I don't like Seattle. Like, I'm tired of talking about Seattle and being a Super Bowl contender when they're going to be one and done in the playoffs. Like, they could make the playoffs, but I'm tired of seeing this team, like, be overly exaggerated to win a Super Bowl while, like, I don't even have them favored to win this game.
Yeah, I guess my take in this is when it comes to the Colts, I think the Colts have the... This game is very 50-50 for me, in my opinion, but I'll explain why. The Colts have the better defense, obviously, right? We saw it last year. You know, when it comes to Seahawks defense, it's just been going down and down and down and down every year. It's a trend now. So they have the better defense. I think what it's going to come down to is just like which team has, you know, maybe the better offense. Because look, we all know that Russ cooks the first 5-6 games of the season.
Yeah.
And then he calms down, right? Every single year for the last 4 years, weeks 1 through 6, Russ is MVP. He's cooking. He's insane, right? And the offense is scoring 30 points a game, 35 points. They're blowing out teams, right? But the thing in this game is that now they're starting week 1 with a team that can actually stop them for once, right? So that's kind of where I'm thinking I think on this side of the token where it's going to be the Seahawks offense and the Colts defense, that's going to be a good clash, right? When you go to the opposite side, I feel like again the Colts have the better advantage on that side of the token as well, right? You got a ground game that's going to be just absolutely pounding you away. And also I think I saw it this morning that Nyheim Hines is the official number 2 back. He jumped Marlon Mack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the safe bet because Marlon Mack is coming back from injury, so you don't want to overload him.
Yeah. So look, basically whoever plays quarterback, whether it be Carson or whether it be Sam or whether it be Jacob Eason. Jacob, yeah. Right? Yeah, Jacob. Yeah. Either one of them, they're gonna have such a good blanket with Jonathan Taylor ground and pound. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's third down. Throw a wheel route to Nyheim Hines, first down. Right? Yeah. I mean, he's so efficient. Now, the only thing that kind of scares me a little bit is the receivers on Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton's not the GOAT anymore. I know he's not the Indianapolis favorite. I get it.
We've been new.
By far. But, it's nice to have him out there every now and then. He's not on there. He's not going to play.
Is he even playing?
No, he's not playing week 1.
That's what I was thinking. I thought he's been banged up.
No. He's not playing week 1. So that's what I'm saying. Can you trust Michael Pittman to make that step up and be that number 1 receiver in Indianapolis? Can you trust him to make that jump in only his second year? I
have faith in Pittman. I prefer Pittman.
I have faith in Pittman overall in the season, but we have to see what he's going to come out with week 1, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess to wrap up my point, in my opinion, I think personally that it's really going to maybe be another one where it's going to be 50-50, depending on, how the Colts shape up on offense, depending on how, The defense is played on both sides. It's a rough one, but I might have to pick the Seahawks on this one. Only because, dude, the Seahawks are just always so good the first part of the season. I know I said that on paper, the Colts have the slight edge, but the early season Seahawks are just a different breed. Then they start calming down, whatever, it is what it is. But I think it's going to be really hard for the Colts to stop DK and Tyler. Maybe they can, maybe they won't. But I think it's going to be one of those games where either team can really win this game. Absolutely, by far. But I think the Seahawks are going to win this game.
We also got to remember that Brian Schottenheimer is no longer the offensive coordinator in Seattle. So they have supposedly a new system that no defense has seen on film yet. So that's the benefit of Russ and all of those weapons.
That is true. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say if Carson plays, Colts win. If he doesn't, Seahawks win.
That's kind of the same thing that I was going at. If Carson plays because he is QB1, he knows the system, he knows how it's going to run. There's no doubt with him, right? Colts are more likely going to win. But because of this uncertainty and who knows how each side of the token is going to play, leaning towards Seattle for now. But I agree. It's really a 50-50 of who plays or not.
Yeah. Next up, I actually have this one written down as a possible sleeper. But
really?
we got the Jets versus the Panthers.
That's going to be a really good game just because there's a lot of storylines in that game. I think we could all be the number one storyline, right? McCaffrey's back. Everybody loves some McCaffrey, right? But I think the other big storyline too is Sam Darnold facing his old team. He's on a, obviously better team now. He has his old guy back, Robbie Anderson. Can the duo light up their old team? But then it's also okay, well, Zach Wilson, his replacement, coming into town. See if he can show him up. I mean, it's there's a lot of storylines with this game. So I agree with you. It could be a really sleeper, a sneakily good game.
Right. No, of course, and that was the first note that I put down was Sam Darnold, Robbie Anderson coming back together against their former team for the very first time. They didn't have to wait long for this one.
No.
So this Jets organization knows about these players and what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are, what they need to work on in order to not get blown up. Yeah. But I think this is a redemption game for not only Sam Darnold, but Robbie Anderson. I feel like he might go off in this game. Just tremendously. So that it's a very good test for Zach Wilson in his first start in the NFL. And when you look at this Carolina Panthers defense, you're not scared of it based on their success last year or lack of success last year. And yes, it's still a growing program with Matt Rule and organization that's still trying to rebuild, but they got some nice pieces already set in stone on this defense that might give Zach Wilson some trouble because this offensive line isn't perfect. I like the Jets offensive line, especially that left side with with Mekhi Becton coming back and one of great pickups in the draft this year. But I'm looking at Hassan Reddick, who just signed with the Carolina Panthers, sack machine.
That's right.
Derek Brown, a few years into the league, slowly improving and being that guy inside. But the guy I'm looking after, and Zach Wilson's got to be careful with this guy, but J.C. Horn, who has been impressing so much in camp, has become that number one guy for sure in the backfield. I would love to see Zach throw his way, or his side of the field, just to see how he locks him up, and whether he's going against Elijah Moore, Corey Davis. Let's see what he can do against these top tier guys. We'll say in week 1 because we don't know yet, but I'm excited to see J.C. Horn in a regular season game. I'll throw this out there because I do think I think this would benefit Carolina because their offensive line isn't as reassured as the Jets are in this moment.
Yeah.
Expect no huddle, fast-paced offense for Carolina, and it's just because of how many weapons they have. If you make the Jets, Robert Saleh, first game as a head coach, defensive mind, defensive genius, put him on his toes a little bit. Make him think a lot more because he's confident in the strategy that he's built with that defense. And the 2 wins that we saw out of the Jets last year, you saw a very physical and very like aggressive defense. Like they were ready to hurt somebody. I think Robert Saleh's going to do that for 17 games with this defense. And in week 1, it's going to be the best because everyone's 100%. But like if you're Matt Rule and Joe Brady, you're looking at like, let's just throw something at them that they're not going to expect. Let's just go no huddle. Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, Terrence Marshall, like just throw everybody out there and let's just go at it. Like who cares? Like we're not expected to win this game, or no one's really giving us a chance, and no one's really going to watch this game. So why not just have some fun with it? Let's just go out in week 1 and see what we do.
Yeah. And you know what, going back to your point on the Carolina defense, there's 2 names that I'm surprised you didn't mention because you were really high on them last year. Brian Burns.
Sure.
What? Come on.
Sure.
Brian Burns was really good last year.
Sure. No, I mean, like, that's not the first name that comes to mind, but sure.
What about Jeremy Chin?
I like
Jeremy
Chin.
He was sneakily one of the best safeties last year.
I saw that, rookie. Too, on the depth chart, and I was like, Jeremy Chin.
Yeah. So, okay, well, look. So, anyway, I guess to wrap this up, because we'll go on to the next one. I think this is going to be a really good game because, look, like I mentioned in the last podcast, look, it's time for something to happen with these Jets, man. Seriously. And I think we could agree that this year, on paper, like you said on the offensive, how you know the offensive line looks pretty structurally okay, a little bit better than what Sam Darnold had. You know, you signed Corey Davis to be your number 1. He was always a mid-tier, like second receiver, in my opinion. Never really took that elevated step that he was supposed to when he got drafted by the Titans. But, you know, here now he has his chance to be number 1. He can really prove himself. He has a lot to prove. He has that chip on his shoulder. You know, and on the other side, you have Elijah Moore, who, you know, coming out of college was a really great prospect. He has great talent. He has a good ceiling. You know, in the backfield, you have Michael Carter. I've heard a lot of good things about him in training camp. We'll see. Look, I think this is Zach Wilson's time to be like, look, it's going to stop with me. This whole Jets curse, it's going to stop with me. And he wants to do everything he can to make it happen. I think it's going to be a really good game. Prediction. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. But I think right now Carolina has the obvious advantage in this game.
I got Carolina, but I would love to see the Jets get a week 1 win with their new head coach.
I would love it to. You know what? I would love to see like a shootout between both of these teams. Like I would love to see Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold just going blow for blow, touchdown for touchdown. You know, just being like, oh, you know, like we said earlier, I'm your replacement. I'm gonna prove to you why they traded you. But then it's gonna be like, oh well, you know, you guys should have kept me. In Sam Darnold's case, like just proving to them like you were the problem of why I was, you know, it would be great to have that. But you know, right now it's just the pieces are there for Carolina. I mean, you have Christian McCaffrey back, Robbie Anderson, 2-year, $29 million deal. On top of already just wanting to beat his older team, he already has that chip on his shoulder with getting paid. You know, you have Terrence Marshall, who in camp has looked really good. He's just the pieces are there, Carolina.
Yeah. No, I expect both of these quarterbacks to throw over 40 times. Zach Wilson for sure. Like Zach Wilson's gonna because he wants to throw over 40 times.
Yeah. And also too, like, we'll see, Sam. There's been some up and down reports about Zach Wilson, but we'll see.
I believe in the kid. He looks 12, but he plays like he's 23. So
he does look 12. He does.
Yeah, we need some facial hair. We need something.
Yeah.
Let's grow a porn stash, please.
Okay.
Then we got to end the afternoon. Actually, no, never mind. We have a few more. We got the LSU and Clemson All-Star game. That is the Vikings at the Bengals. Like we just have everybody from those 2 programs there.
You know what? I haven't realized it until now, but you're completely right. Wow, that's
every pass that's going to be completed in this game should be to an LSU or Clemson player. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. I think the Bengals picked up Thaddeus Moss. I might be wrong on that, but might as well just throw him in there. Why not?
That's kind of hilarious, not going to lie.
Just to make some history here. Zach Taylor is a terrible head coach. Joe Burrow still doesn't have an offensive line, and the Vikings are just going to throw all over Chidobe Awuzie, so the Vikings win.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, please get 200 yards. I'd really appreciate it.
I think this one's a really quick wrap. We don't have much to say. I think it's very obvious that the Vikings are going to beat them down hard. I just pray that Joe Burrow does not leave this game on a card again.
Oh, jeez.
I'm praying. Look, we don't even know what's going on with Jamar Chase. Is he even going to play? I don't know. Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins are obviously the number one, number two. It's going to be... Oh, sorry, my bad. It's going to be not an interesting game, in my opinion. Prediction, Vikings. Let's move on.
Vikings by a lot.
Yeah.
Then we got an absolute shootout in the making. Cardinals Titans.
This is going to be a really, really good game. You have two offenses that... Well, look. You have one offense that is obviously high-powered, right? But you also have to think about it in this way, too, where it's like, you got Derrick Henry. I mean, we all know Derrick Henry's in a ball out, right? What I'm curious to see the most is what is going to be the dynamic in how Julio and AJ are going to work, right? So you have AJ Brown, who was the number one for the last 3 years, right? Stud. Injury problems here and there, but stud. Now you got Julio in the mix, who, you know, in years past was arguably a top 3 receiver in the league. I mean,
wow.
You don't think Julio was top 3 in the league in maybe 3-4 years ago?
3-4 years ago, yeah, but for the last 3 years, no.
Well, I said the last 3.
No, there's a difference from 3 or 4 years ago to last 3 years. If we're talking about in 2016 to 17, if he was top 3, yes. But from 2018 to 2021, is he a top 3? No.
Okay.
You get what I mean? You get what I mean?
Okay.
I'm not trying to dig on your toes, but
no. I see your point. Okay, fair enough. So, but you see what I'm trying to say though. At a point in time, Julio was top 3 in general.
Was
is the key word. Yes. So, is this his bounce back year? Is this just another stop? We'll see.
Stay healthy. That's all you got to do.
Stay healthy.
Just be on the field.
I'm very curious to see how it's going to work out because Ryan Tannehill now has 2 pretty good options if healthy. We'll see. Then you got on the other side of the ball. I mean, you got Kyler Murray.
You have everything.
You have everything.
Everything you could possibly want to throw to.
Exactly. Throw to.
No, their offensive line is still not. It's still not there.
The line and the running back situation still suspect.
Listen.
I swear to God, if you say James Conner is the answer, I'm
oh hell no! I'm going deep in that depth chart. Eno Benjamin is the guy.
Okay, so you're going third.
I'm going third string. He might be 4th on the depth chart. I'm being honest. I don't even know if he made the roster. I don't know.
Oh my God,
but
I don't know either.
He scored in the preseason. I love Eno Benjamin. He's a great running back out of Arizona State. But I mean, this is the year that Arizona has to make a statement.
Yeah, it's been long enough. This is it right here.
Not only in their offense, not only in their coaching, but in their defense. Vance Joseph has to give me a reason to believe in this defense. And I wasn't sold on the defense with JJ Watt. I wasn't when he signed, I wasn't sold.
It's a good pickup for veteran leadership, but actual production,
we'll see. We'll see because he's been dealing with the injuries for his entire career, and he's been on the bad teams and still done great. But the impact has not been to where the success in the playoffs has been there, right?
Yeah.
Isaiah Simmons still has a lot of question marks, and I don't know how they're going to use him. They didn't know how to use him last year. I don't know if they know how to use him this year. Patrick Peterson's out of there.
Yeah.
So how do we evaluate this secondary? Derrick Henry is a scary week 1 matchup for your defense. that has not been proven to be great over the last few years. I know what I'm getting in your offense. Like,
absolutely.
Like, if you're a salesman, no, I'm buying that product. But what's the other stuff that you're trying to sell me? Because that's what's questionable here. And you could say the same thing about Tennessee. Tennessee, same thing. Offense, I'm good. I'll take two. Yeah. But the defense, you signed or you drafted my least favorite cornerback out of like the top 5. Like Caleb Farley's not looking good. And that's the biggest concern you have in your defense is the secondary is absolute garbage. Your front 7, they can't really get to anybody now that Jadeveon Clowney is out of there. Like, they still have a lot to prove here, but I think this is a more important game to Arizona. They have to win this game.
Yeah.
It's a must-win, and I hate saying that in week 1, but it's a must-win to prove a point that they are legit. They are serious about winning this division and making a playoff push, because without playoffs, there's no more Cliff. Daddy Cliff is going back to college if they don't win this year.
Yeah.
And I hate that because I love that handsome man. I want to see him on my TV. But it's not going to happen if they lose week 1 against Tennessee.
Yeah, this game is going to be a really good offensive shootout. I mean, honestly, I could really see this game going into like 30s, like maybe even low 40s, because both defenses are just so suspect. But like we were saying, the offenses are just both so good. If I had to choose, my prediction for this game, I think I have to give it to the Titans, only because they just have that extra thing in Derrick Henry where it's just a for sure, extra factor. The receivers are obviously going to be good on both sides of the balls. Tight ends, I don't really... Is Dan Arnold still the tight end for the Cardinals, or did they get someone else?
Does it really matter?
No, they're probably not going to throw him that much to begin with.
I want to say he's on there, but he won't be catching the ball.
Yeah, and I mean, same thing with the Titans. I mean, Jonnu wasn't even that good, in my opinion, to begin with. But now they don't really have a tight end to begin with anyway.
It's very disrespectful.
I can make a lot of points. But I think Titans are going to win this game. Not by a lot. Not by a lot. But I think Titans are going to win this game.
Look at me. I'm looking at the camera.
Okay, I'm looking at you. I'm going to look at you, not the camera.
You're going to look at me looking at the camera.
Okay, all right.
Arizona wins. Kyler goes for 400 yards. Christian Kirk, 200 yards plus. Christian Kirk.
It's
a bad motherfucker.
That sounds so dumb, like just to like say it. But because of what we've seen and because we know how they use Christian Kirk, I can't even tell you no.
One of my favorite receivers that's
I can't
so underappreciated in this league.
You know what? If Christian Kirk was on another team, like he would be number 2. He'd be number 2 guy.
He's the number 2.
No, he's not. He's slot.
He's still number 2 in my eyes.
Well, of course he is in your eyes, but in reality, he's slot.
You don't understand. Like, just because you have a certain position, like CeeDee's number 1 for me. But if you call him the slot, like, that still doesn't matter. He's still gonna get the targets.
Well, I'm
at the end of the season, who's number 1 in receptions and yards? Who's number 2? Number 1's gonna be D-Hop in Arizona. Number 2, Christian Kirk. AJ Green, dude can't even stay on the field. I'd rather think Rondale Moore is gonna have more receptions than AJ Green.
Okay, so you were thinking about it that way. I was thinking about like depth chart 1.
That's the only way to think about it.
No, it's week 1, dude.
Number 1, number 2. Who's the number 1 receiver? It's like saying like the Cowboys a few years ago. It's like, who's number 1? Well, I mean, they only have Cole Beasley. He's like, no, but he's a slot. He's like technically number 4. Like, no, you don't say that. He's their number 1 receiver because they have nothing else.
I'll give you your little limelight over here. I'll give you your limelight.
Christian Kirk,
apparently. Go pick him up on your fantasy team right now.
For a week.
Oh,
yeah.
My God. Okay, sure, buddy.
He won't drop 200 every week.
Yeah. So confident that 200, huh?
49ers against the Lions.
Do we have to talk about it?
I mean, if Dan Campbell or what is his name? I don't know.
Dan Campbell, yeah.
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell.
If
Dan
he
Campbell,
wears
yeah.
that bike helmet on the sideline, I'll pick the Lions.
Yeah, for antics. But
I mean, it's like Andy Reid with the mask last year. Like it's just his version of it. But if he finds a way to put on the headset with the helmet on, I praise that guy.
You know, okay. How about this? We'll do it this way. Real quick. Prediction: 49ers.
Who's gonna win?
No, like who's your prediction? Obviously.
49ers.
Okay. How many points do you think the Lions are gonna score? How about that?
9.
I was gonna say 10. Just like a touchdown and a field goal. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it? I might be wrong on this. I feel like I read this.
They have a kicker now.
Okay, thank you. I read that they got rid of both of their kickers.
No, they did, but they have a kicker now. Yes.
What's his name?
I don't remember.
Is it just like some random guy that we don't know?
I think it's just a Randy guy. Yeah.
6.
6.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna miss a field goal.
I could see 10 just because like it'll be like the fourth quarter and like somehow TJ Hawkinson finds himself like empty because the 49ers stopped caring and they get a touchdown.
That's true. Garbage time.
Yeah.
Garbage time, garbage Lions.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they are this year.
Okay, so 49ers, 10 points. 49ers, 6 points. That's a prediction.
Yes.
Next game.
Yeah. Steelers going to Buffalo against the Bills.
So, okay. I don't really want to talk a lot about this game because I think we both know who's going to win this game.
Me
very
neither.
easily.
Like, it looks like a good matchup on paper.
But it's not.
But it's not.
No. Like, we both know that Josh Allen's going to throw for 500 and for 5. Stephon Diggs is going to catch, like, 20 passes for 700 yards. Like, it's going to be a blowout, right? Yeah. But there's 3 things I want to say about this game. My official prediction is the Bills. My thoughts... I'm very, very curious to see how this Pittsburgh offense is going to work, only because all they've been talked about this past offseason is they're so overrated. They are so overrated. Look, I've already said my thoughts about Najee. I don't see it. I don't see it yet.
Son of a bitch.
I just don't see it. I'm not. What's the saying?
I'm not sold.
We'll see. Big Ben. Maybe he'll throw for 2 touchdowns. Maybe he'll throw for 7 picks. You never know. And then I want to see the TikTok dancers. See what they do. Yeah. I want to see if maybe Dante Johnson fixes his dropping problem. I want to see if maybe Claypool is healthy enough because, you know, that ankle apparently was kind of mild in a way. He's been affected a little bit in training camp. And then I also want to see what the hell Juju's going to do because Juju's number 1, apparently. Juju's number 1. I mean, he's number 1.
But is he really number 1?
Is he really number 1? Is Claypool going to be number 1? I don't know.
Is Juju number 1? Yes or no?
Nobody's number 1 there. Nobody's number 1. You know what? You know what? Eric Ebron.
don't you disrespect Eric Ebron. You know what? He dropped a lot last year, but he's still a damn good tight end to me, damn it.
When he was I don't know why he left the Colts. He was so good with the Colts.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, Pittsburgh threw money because they needed a tight end. You couldn't have Jesse James be your tight end forever.
Yeah.
Listen. Bills might have a pass rush this year. I hope they do.
I swear to God, if you say they don't have a Najee, I'm exiting this call.
You brought it up.
Oh my God.
They don't technically have a Najee. But they actually have a good roster overall.
Yeah.
The Steelers, they can't pay TJ Watt right now. Like their worries are not on football. like it's TikTok and paying TJ Watt. I don't know
also
if TJ's
Chase
gonna
Claypool being down astronomically. I wonder if he got like disciplined for that.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I do. You do.
What do you mean?
I told you that Chase Claypool made a TikTok with that girl that started getting really famous, like the dentist, like assistant girl. but like she has like a stool, and the way she sits on the stool is like a trend now. People
okay, I know attention. That, but how does Chase come into this?
So Chase Claypool made a duet with one of her TikToks of her being like a little like funny thirst trap because she knows the attention she's getting, and Chase Claypool put his face on the stool. In general, that's hilarious. It's funny.
But not when you're the number one receiver.
Not when you're the number one receiver, apparently. I mean, come on.
Shoot or shoot. Look, it's just the wrong shot.
Look, shoot or shoot, but not if you're unemployed. And we all know Mike Tomlin's a hard ass. So, he obviously did not get disciplined. Obviously, he didn't. But I'm curious if maybe Mike Tomlin was like, hey, listen, man. Listen. I swear to God, if you ever put your face on a stool again, you're out of here.
Juju, stop dancing. We've got a game.
Stop dropping.
Oh, now that man's just down bad.
He's down bad.
He's just down bad. So Bills win by a lot over the Pittsburgh Trolls.
The Pittsburgh Trolls.
That's all they are at this point.
Yeah. And 75-year-old Ben Roethlisberger that can barely move.
He's on a diet, though. Eagles.
Harder than TB12.
Harder than TB12. Yeah. Eagles. Falcons. Eagles.
I'm just kidding. I'm just being a dumbass. I hate the Eagles. This actually might be a pretty good game. It's like it's in the same category as what was the one we were talking about? The first one, the sneaky game.
The Jets and the Panthers.
Yeah.
No.
Only reason why I say that is because they might be so bad that it'll be good. Look, I think in this game it's pretty obvious that the Falcons are probably gonna win this game, maybe. Just because they have the better weapons, they have the better proven weapons. Kyle Pitts is gonna go off for 500 yards in this game. Who's gonna cover him? Tell me, who's gonna cover him on the
Eagles? If he's still there, Avonte Maddox.
You're gonna put an outside corner on a tight end? Yeah, that might work. Actually, that might work. Eagles are dumb enough to do that probably. You got Calvin Ridley running down the sideline. You got Russell Gage just post or slant, whatever. It's gonna work somehow. Anything will work. And then I'm actually really curious to see how Mike Davis is gonna do there.
Yeah.
Very curious. In my fantasy draft, my friend's dad was next to me and he drafted him, and I looked at him and I was like,
"When
sure about that? Like, no. For the value, it was good. Well, actually, no. I think he was drafted like.
Don't tell me it was like single-digit round.
I think he got him like 8th or 9th round, something like that. Cause it's cause in my league, like we all went through the running backs pretty quick.
Yeah.
To be honest, but it was also kind of like, oh, are you sure about that? And he was like, yeah, man, like he's gonna be fine. They run a lot in Atlanta, and I was like, okay. I was like, okay. Well, anyway, but I'm curious to see how he's gonna do. I think we all know Atlanta's gonna be a pass-first offense, but hey,
yeah,
he's surprising Carolina, so we'll see.
I got the Eagles winning this.
Do you?
I don't care, though. I love football, and it's week 1, so I'll watch anything.
I don't care about this game.
But I don't care about this game.
I don't care about this game.
It's not going to matter. And
I think the only thing that I would care about seeing personally, Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Mike Davis.
Yeah.
And let's see that Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts connection. Let's see that. Other than that, I don't care about anything else. I really don't.
Roll Tide.
I really don't.
I wrote this down. And this might, like, we're going to talk about these other games in a minute. But how in the fuck is the Browns and the Chiefs the afternoon game while we have the Raiders and the Ravens on Monday night?
Wow, I didn't know they were the afternoon game. I thought they were the Sunday night game.
Nope. Bears and Rams are Sunday night. Arguable.
Okay. That's not bad.
I'm a little sold on that one, okay? Like, there is something to that. There's a little juice to it, right?
Okay, you know what it should have been is Browns and Chiefs should have been the Sunday night game. Mm-hmm. And the Monday night game should have been Rams and Bears, right?
Perfectly fine.
That'd be good, right?
Perfectly fine.
But to have the afternoon game, that's so weird.
You get the Tony Romo, like Jim Nantz in Kansas City. I get that.
I cry whenever I hear his voice, just letting you know.
How do you feel tingling in a certain area when he goes,
Yes.
Because that's
I get really excited when he says, oh, watch, they're going to do X, Y, and Z, and he calls a play, and I'm just like, I miss you so much.
Antonio, you dog.
Oh, love that man. Jim Nantz, okay, too. All right.
Oh, Jim Nantz is great. No disrespect.
He's great.
Disrespect to the brother.
Better than Joe Buck.
Sadly, yes, but Joe Buck's still great, in my opinion.
Man. Oh, what a great play. 40, 30, 20. Yeah, that's great to you?
Wow. Okay, Browns and Chiefs.
This game has literally everything. Everything you could possibly want in football.
Like, I don't want to talk about it just out of pure respect. I don't know who wins.
You know,
and if we said that last year, if we would have said Browns and Chiefs,
we would have been crucified.
I don't know who's going to win that game.
We would have been crucified.
Like, even Cleveland would have been like, the fuck?
Like, this show would have been canceled on the spot. 100%.
Oh, it's eventually going to get canceled.
Well, yeah, because, bigger and better things.
Oh.
But.
Yeah.
Shut up. So, look, isn't it crazy that you can make this a point that the Browns were a 4th down away from beating the Chiefs last year in that divisional game?
Yeah.
Dude, the Chiefs were on the Browns side of the field on that 4th down. They could have won that game. Baker Mayfield would have gotten the ball back, drove down the field, because it was very obvious the Chiefs defense was not there that game. It wasn't. They were bending and they were bending, but they could have broke on that last drive.
Yeah.
So, I don't look. You got a Browns defense that is proven and has gotten better with these additions that they've got in the draft.
Yeah.
You got the same old Chiefs offense that is going to score maybe 30 or at least a healthy 25.
But they also got better because they
also got better because they got a new line.
They got a new line.
They got a new line. I don't know who to choose. I don't. Is it still fair to say that, like, if you pick the Browns, they're still the underdog?
Yeah, look at the line for that. There's no way that the Browns are the favorite in this game. It can't be, right?
You know what? I'm actually very curious. I want to see what the line is.
At this point, though, you can't say they are the overwhelming underdog. I've made this argument before.
The favorites for this game, the Chiefs by 6.
Ooh, 6 is
6 over under Chiefs.
I'm taking the Browns in that. Like the +6. I'm taking the Browns in that bet. I was thinking maybe 3, like a field goal.
There's the betting line is a touchdown difference, basically. Could I see it? Yeah, but I could see less. I agree with you. This is going to be such a close game.
The argument I'm going to make for the Chiefs this year is that they are going to be a top 3 team in the AFC without a doubt.
Obviously.
They are going to cruise by like the Golden State Warriors did years ago when they were winning championships or in contention to win championships every year. Like, they didn't need to win all those games. Yeah. We clearly knew who was the better team on most nights. The Chiefs are clearly the better team in 95 to 99% of their games this year.
But this is that 1% where it's like, it's pretty even. It could go either way.
It's not even that. It's just like some weeks they may not even try their hardest. Like, they don't need to win this game in week 1. They got plenty of games to win throughout the year. They play the Broncos twice a year. They play the Raiders twice a year. They're not going to care. about going 17-0 this year. They're not going to care about that. That's not their goal. It's just to win the damn Super Bowl. Andy Reid's going to get them there no matter what. So why not just throw some money at the Browns? Let's just...
I mean, you're not wrong.
The Browns are like, we almost beat you to make it to the AFC Championship. We were one down away, really. And we got better defensively. We got better, if you want to say, offensively, but it's really the same. Like, it's the same offense, and it was still pretty good. You can make the argument that it's just because it's better because of Kevin Stefanski's second year and Baker Mayfield's second year with Kevin Stefanski. Why not just go for the Browns?
Yeah.
Not because they're better than the Chiefs, just because like they played better than them on that Sunday.
Look, I think this game is going to be a complete toss-up. Literally any team can win. I honestly don't even know what to pick. I really don't.
I'm going Browns. I'm all in.
All in on the Browns?
I was all in with the Browns in their round 1 matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I said, you got to do it for Cleveland. Cleveland, this is for you. God damn, I'm going Cleveland. Blowout.
Honestly, I could probably pick the Browns too. I think this could be like their statement shocker game, like, hey, yo, we beat Kansas City. Fear us. You know, something like that.
In Arrowhead too. Imagine that. Imagine
that.
Like I would assume they had some fans at Arrowhead for their playoff games last year.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did. Some fans.
But
it was 25%.
It was not full. Like, it wasn't Arrowhead.
Full Arrowhead is dangerous.
It is.
It is like ear-shattering dangerous.
But just close your eyes for a second if you're listening to this or watching this. Imagine game's over. 41-38 Browns.
Oh.
People are leaving the stadium. I mean, in pure shock. Baker Mayfield comes out of the tunnel. Running just gracefully out of the tunnel. With a Cleveland Browns flag. Goes to midfield.
Oh my God.
Sticks it in the logo. And grabs his crotch like he did against Kansas and Oklahoma. Why not? Why not us?
Is that like a 3-game suspension with the no fun league?
No, that's a fine. That's a fine.
Fine.
But it's not a suspension.
Fine. Yeah.
That's a big fine.
Yeah.
But you know what? You beat the Chiefs. You basically won the Super Bowl. Nothing else matters.
Yeah. It's a good game. Really.
And then Odell's like proposing to like one of the kicker nets again. Just because he has to be the center of attention.
I would like to see Odell bounce back.
I wouldn't. So Browns?
Yeah. I'll give it the Browns on that one.
Yes, sir. An interesting matchup because there's a lot of questionable play or just questions in general with this one team. But the Packers versus the Saints.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So I think we could both agree who's going to win this game.
It's the last dance.
Packers are winning this game convincingly. But I don't think the focus is on them.
It's not. It really isn't.
Like I think everybody who's going to watch this game is going to watch this game to see how the Saints are going to do in this new Drew Brees-less era, right?
Rebuild.
Yeah, rebuild. So apparently, it is now all over fantasy as well because I witnessed it firsthand personally. Marquez Callaway and Jameis Winston are now the most hyped up 1-2 duo in the league. He caught 3 balls. Relax. It's gonna be interesting. I'm actually really like. I really want to see this game, but just to see what the Saints do, on offense and defense. Because we all know Aaron Rodgers is gonna manhandle that defense. We all know. Like the defensive side of the ball doesn't really matter. I'm interested to see how they're gonna react and how the offense is gonna play and how much time they're gonna be on the field and whatnot. You know all that, right? But I really want to see how hard Alvin Kamara is gonna carry this offense.
Is it wrong for me to say that I think the Saints look better as a team in the first quarter, and then that's when the Packers are like, all right, we gave them we gave them a quarter.
No, you're not, because there's always the argument that's always made. It's like, oh well, we don't have any film on Jameis Winston with these Saints receivers. We don't have any film on Marcus Callaway. Besides those 3 balls, we don't have a lot to go off of to try and cover this Saints team. So yeah, I could see them doing pretty good the first half, but second half is just the Packers are just gonna ram them down. They're gonna run the ball with Aaron Jones, with AJ Dillon. Devontae Adams is gonna have 2 touchdowns maybe. I mean, it's gonna be a fairly easy game for them.
And I was thinking, I was like, well, it's in the Superdome, that'll help out the New Orleans Saints. And I was like, wait, that's not happening.
Unfortunately, it's not happening. Prayers to everybody over there. Yes. My God.
But they will be playing this game in Jacksonville.
Oh, and that heat is ugly over there. Ugly.
Like Drew Brees was the dome master, but when he played outside in regular weather, wasn't too good, or wasn't as we are accustomed to.
Yeah.
Now with him gone, now everybody's playing outside. Now everyone's got to play in that Jacksonville heat. You know what? I'll give the Saints a shot in this game. I'll give them a shot.
Give them a shot.
They'll keep it close.
Okay.
Jameis throws a little something.
A little something.
He's a little something. He puts some stank on it.
Like 250, 250 something.
I'll go 3.
Oh, okay.
3 interceptions though.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, we know what the Packers are. We know what they're going to be. The Saints, we have no clue. So if they keep it close, that's actually great for me. I think that's a very good positive to take out of this game.
Yeah. I mean, if the game is like, you know what? I feel like this game is very similar to the Cowboys and Bucks game, where it's like, if the Saints lose 34-20, well, it's not that bad, right? Not bad. If they lose it 34-20, 24, not bad, right? But it's very similar. I'm gonna see it that way too.
Yeah. Broncos Giants, probably my least favorite matchup, or second least favorite of the weekend.
I really kind of don't want to talk about this game either. This game is really boring. I don't think this game really cares either.
It's gonna be ugly.
I really don't care about this game. Yeah. I guess if I had to choose, maybe the Broncos, maybe. But it's really like a flip of the coin. I can see either team winning, honestly.
The Giants are my sleeper team, or one of my sleeper teams.
Yeah.
So it is going to be a defensive struggle. Like offensively, this is going to be horrific to watch.
It's a bad game.
It's going to be a lot of short, intermediate stuff. Just try to move the chains. Nothing high scoring. Just maybe a field goal to end it. But I'll give the advantage to the Giants, because I do think overall they have a better defense as a whole that can create turnovers, and then they have a better running game as of right now. So
yeah.
So yeah, they'll just milk the clock and have the time of possession. If you win the turnover battle, you win in this game. That.
Basically, yeah.
So yeah, I'll go Giants.
I'll go Broncos on this one.
Yeah. My last matchup to watch, just because it was my matchup to watch last year in week 1, but the Dolphins versus the Patriots.
This is gonna be such a good game.
So excited.
Really, I feel like this game is the perfect example of both teams have something to prove. Both teams have something to prove in this game. This game is gonna be a game of sheer willpower, as they say. Who is gonna show up more, right? Mm-hmm. You got Mac Jones coming in as QB1, and look, his journey to QB1 was going to happen eventually, but we didn't think it was gonna be this soon, right? We thought it was gonna be week 2, week 3, something like that, right? But Now he's QB1. You know, it's funny because we mentioned, if we go back to an earlier podcast from earlier this year, I was very critical on the New England Patriots pickups. I thought they were extremely overrated. I thought people were hyping them way too much than they should have been. But I now have a little bit of a new perspective because, look, if we're talking about Cam, who cares who they get around him? Nothing's going to happen, right? But now you got Mac Jones, a rookie quarterback that needs all the help he can get. N'Keal Harry, Nelson Aguilar, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry. Hey, maybe all these additions are going to be good for him because he'll always he needs everybody he can get to throw. Damian Harris is going to be such a big workhorse that's going to help him out, relieve the pressure, right? You still got James White in the backfield. You got that rookie running back that impressed in the preseason. I forgot his name.
It's Ramonde or something like that, right?
Something like that, yes. He was very good in the preseason. Big respect to him. So my perspective changes, but only because Mac Jones is the quarterback now. All this is going to help him, right? But then you got the other side of the ball. You got Tua. This is a huge statement game for Tua. There were reports coming out last year that these players didn't really like Tua. They didn't believe in him. There were talks about trading him. I mean, that's rough. That's rough for you as coming into your second year and your own team doesn't believe in you. But then now you got these training camp reports that Tua's been slinging it. He's looking really good. He's making good decisions. You know, you got Devontae Parker. You got Will Fuller when he comes back eventually, but not for this week. You got Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle supposed to be a big thing in this game. You got Mike Gesicki, the security blanket that we were talking about in the fantasy draft. And then you got two pretty damn good defenses on each side of the ball.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a really good game to watch. It's going to be a game that, like I said, it's going to be a statement game for whoever wins.
Yeah.
Or even if it's a really close game, okay, the other team did really damn good. They're obviously going to be something this year. This is a really good game.
I think of it like this. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was doing my prediction, but I'll save it after you make yours.
Feel like these two teams are going to be drastically different when they meet up later in the year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. By far.
Like last year, that was the case. Last year in week one, when we saw these teams, it was like, okay, I mean, the Patriots won and Miami looked decent. We'll see where these two teams go because we're kind of questioning what they're going to do in the long term. Yeah. And when they met up the second time, it was like, wow, okay, these two teams like know each other, but like they've struggled this year. One of them's being more, there's more upside to one in the Dolphins than there is in the Patriots, who are having an off year, but they still showed that like, wow, there's still something here. And this year I think it's going to come together in week one, but then when they meet up later in the year, it's going to be even better because then they'll have time to develop as a true unit. Like, even though one's already got 1 year under his belt, it's not a true 1 year. So this is the start of two different eras as a quarterback. And we think about this whole AFC East, like none of these quarterbacks are over 25 years old. Now that Mac Jones is in. They're all so young.
It's crazy.
Tua finally gets the training camp and an off season to really understand and get comfortable. He's at the year to where he doesn't need to think about the injury, like that he I was gonna say earned, but that's not the right word. But that he caught from college, lack of a better term. But like now he's like, okay, I don't have to worry about that as much. I got my feet under me. I got my legs under me. Like I can do better this year than I was last year. And now I'm the true starter. There's no true starter 1 week and then a different week. Yeah. Like I'm the guy. And then Mac Jones, like, well, now you're the guy for sure because they're not going to put Jarrett Stidham in there if they don't have to.
No.
So start of two different eras. Start of a whole new just time in these organizations. It won't be the highest scoring game. That's what I put. It'll be a chess match. And it's going to be who's going to make the least amount of mistakes. You always want that in a game. But in this game, it matters more because they're going to take advantage of every single mistake, whether that's special teams, offense, or defense. Special teams included. Like special teams, you should watch out for this in this game. Like it's going to be even just like the starting like line of scrimmage, like where they start their drives, that's going to be so drastically important in this game. Like, and right now I'm looking at this, I'm saying like Miami looks like the more developed team.
Yeah.
It's weird because we're so used to seeing the Patriots being like the more prepared team, but now we're like, well, I still need to learn a lot about this New England team. Like, I love Bill Belichick and I trust him to do what's best for this team. But cutting your supposed starting quarterback just a week before, and then you bring in a bunch of guys that didn't really do anything around the league. And then this defense, they have a lot of people coming back, whether that's opt-outs of COVID or they re-sign like Kyle Van Noy. Dude's a defensive leader, but then you also get Dante Hightower back. Like, these are very important guys to have in your defense. And then you got a lot of guys in their second year that look promising. I am so in love with this matchup and what it means for these organizations, like for the future. Lastly, I'll just talk about how there's just a lot of question marks like to be answered for the Patriots defense. Like Matt Jones, I'm for sure on him, but the unorthodox weapons that we're going to have for him with the two tight ends, are they going to go back to how it was with Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski back in the day? Or are they going to utilize Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne a lot? Now with N'Keal Harry.
Bourne.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to remember. Thank you.
Well, because N'Keal Harry's on IR. Like he hurt his shoulder, and so now he's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks, and that was going to be their number one guy because they're like, well, this is your last shot. Like, he's had a terrible time in New England. This is your last chance to prove to us that you deserve to be here.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't have that chance, so now it's up to the tight ends and Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne. Like what? Jacoby Myers as well. We talked about the running backs.
I feel like Jacoby Myers might be like the safety blanket number one like receiver there. Like, because he proved himself a lot last year.
Yeah, when they desperately needed someone to step up, Jacoby Myers was like the only real guy. And Damiere Byrd was one of those options too, but now he's not there. So it's really up to those guys. And they don't sound like sexy weapons.
No.
But was Wes Welker, like when he first arrived, and like Julian Edelman when they first like came to New England, they were like, that's a sexy weapon right there. I mean, I know they're handsome, but like players, like, how many times have we doubted that in New England? Like, these guys don't look like the best thing in the world, but somehow they just make it work.
Yeah.
So I'm all for this game. Like, after the Chiefs and Browns game, I'm gonna start watching the Dolphins and Patriots game before the Sunday night game.
Yeah, I this game's gonna be really good. Prediction though, this could be a toss-up. This really could be a toss-up. It's really 50-50 for me, but if I had to choose, I might give it to the Patriots maybe.
Yeah.
I might give it to the Patriots.
In Bill we trust.
In Bill we trust. Bill can make anybody look like a god, so I mean, yeah.
Make the Patriots great again.
Yeah, for real.
I didn't want to say that. I'm sorry.
Yes, you did.
Sure. Sunday Night Football, Bears and Rams. It's Rams offense versus Bears defense. That's basically the storyline.
That's the storyline. I don't think we need to talk a lot about this game.
We really don't.
We really don't. I think. Okay, there's one question I do want to ask though. Two questions I want to ask, and I saw this in a tweet. I think a couple days ago. This is an extreme hot take, right? Do you think the Bears will put in Justin Fields after halftime? If Andy Dalton is just looking awful, looking like straight garbage.
Ooh. Like 3 interceptions, like a Nathan Peterman type of half.
I'm talking like this dude is literally like throwing a ghost, like 3 interceptions. Like he is just not it.
Yeah.
You think they'll put him in?
Yep, absolutely.
I want to see it happen so bad.
Like, a part of me doesn't want that to happen, especially against the Rams. Like, you can't just throw in Justin Fields against the Rams.
No, obviously not.
Even with the great preseason he had, don't do it.
But it's also like you want Justin. Like, you want to see what he can do.
Like, it's halftime, and then they get back from doing, like, the halftime report, and then they're like, let's send it back to Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels, and then you just hear the Stone Cold Steve Austin music come down, the glass shatters, and then here comes Justin Fields out of the tunnel. Oh my God, it's Justin Fields! He's come to save the Bears.
Oh my God!
Now that's TV. That's entertainment.
That'd be entertainment. I agree with you. It's gonna be Rams offense, and Bears defense, but. To wrap it up, I think the Rams are going to win this game only because the Rams defense is far more superior than the Bears offense. So,
Rams defense is better than Andy Dalton. That's all you need to say.
Yes, there you go.
Because that is the only thing that is like holding this back from being like a really good game is Andy Dalton being in here.
I need Justin Fields on the field as soon as possible though, because Allen Robinson is my wide receiver. So please
Mr. Nagy,
Mr. Nagy,
this is a courtesy call about your extended warranty, and also put in Justin Fields. Like it's got to be that. He'll be like, oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what, like last thing I'll say, I am so happy and excited to see Matt Stafford with these Rams. He's finally on a good team. Finally.
It's a fresh start. He's one of the most likable guys in the league because of what he had to deal with for the last decade. To see him get his first touchdown in SoFi Stadium, again with Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, it doesn't matter, right? When he gets that first touchdown, I think everyone around the league is going to be like, yeah.
Good for him.
It's just a smile on everyone's face.
It's because I'm not going to lie to you. I was so scared that he was going to do the same thing as Megatron. That he was going to retire because he was stuck in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I was so scared of that. But when I heard the rumors and when I finally saw that, like the Instagram post, this breaking news, Rams trade for Matt Stafford. Oh, I was so happy. So happy.
I think it'll be weird to see Sony Michel in a Rams uniform.
It would be weird, yeah, because he was a really big part of the Patriots for a while. But yeah,
I'll be intrigued, to say the least, on what he does as their running back. Yeah. I prefer Sony Michel over Darrell Henderson, if I'm being honest.
So I prefer Darrell Henderson only because he proved himself to be a workhorse at the later part of the season. But Sony Michel is very interesting because we've seen what he could do in New England. And especially in an offense like, in LA where Sean McVay can really spread out the ball as many ways as possible. Now he just has another weapon he can do out the backfield, So, yeah, but overall, Rams are going to win this game.
Still a good watch, though. It's still a good watch.
Oh, by far, yeah.
It's Sunday Night Football. You can't go wrong.
Would have been better to see the Chiefs and the Browns. But
we can't get into that again.
I'm just saying.
Ravens and Raiders.
Ravens. All right, this will be the end of the podcast. I'm just kidding.
All right, thank you guys so much. John Gruden, fired, buddy. Go back to the booth.
God.
Hey,
God.
Maybe this is a part of the plan. Maybe this is a ploy, something like that.
Yeah.
This is ESPN's way
to get John back.
To get John Gruden back in the booth.
It's like just humiliate him in front of national TV.
Absolutely
on their
humiliate
network.
Him.
Yeah.
In the new stadium.
This game is literally going to be a blowout. It's going to be bad. It's going to be really, really bad.
How was this picked to be the last game of the week? How? I know John Gruden's got ties and he's got connections.
And the Raiders got a new stadium.
And they got a new stadium. It'll be the best performance or showcase of this Raiders organization is the stadium.
Yes. Yeah.
This isn't even the first game they're playing of any sporting event in that stadium. The Mexico national team played before the Raiders did. How sad is that? You don't even care enough to be no, the Raiders have to be the first team to play in the stadium. They fucking did a WWE event before they did a Raiders game. And yet they're the main event? I don't care if you got fucking every free agent possible on this defense. You are not stopping Lamar Jackson.
You're not stopping Lamar Jackson. You're not stopping Mark Andrews. You're not stopping Gus Edwards. You might not even stop Hollywood Brown for all I know. Jesus Christ.
Oh, JK would have just absolutely dominated.
Oh, JK would have, dude, JK would have gone for like 120, 150. Easy.
Over.
Easy.
I'm going over.
Easy. Oh, God. I hate the preseason so much.
The plan is to get John Gruden back in the booth, back doing QB camp on ESPN, and it starts in week 1. We gotta make sacrifices, right? We have to. We gotta go through the bad times.
Is this his 5th year? 4th year?
Yeah, because he's halfway through that contract.
5th year, right?
Yeah.
He got rehired in 2016. Or like leading to 2017 or something like that, right?
2016. It has to be 4 or 5, but I think it's 5 because we're halfway through that 10-year contract.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, it's not
well,
good.
not good. Not good start. Oh, but they got Derek Carr though, right?
For now.
They got Derek Carr, right?
For now.
Okay.
They got Kenny Drake.
Oh, they got Brian Edwards.
They got Leatherwood.
They got Morig.
They got Ngakoue.
They do have Ngakoue.
They do have Ngakoue.
They do have Ngakoue. Huh.
But they
still gonna get shit on.
But they still have Jonathan Abrams.
Wow.
Monday night worthy.
Oh God.
How is that the fucking Monday night game? Jesus Christ.
You know what would have been a really good Monday night game? Like if they would have kept the schedule the same.
Anything else?
The Patriots and the Dolphins would be a good Monday night game.
God, that would have been so. Oh. I don't know what else to say. I really don't know because it's a red hot week 1. I mean, the afternoon games, stunning. Just filled with great matchups. And then you're like, but wait for it. What the hell was that? I don't even know what I just did. John Gruden.
Oh, God. Johnny. Chucky.
Hey, but Mark Davis has a new mansion.
That looks exactly like the stadium.
That's really weird to me.
I think there's a little ego involved in that. I think there's some ego into that. But I'm just saying.
Imagine if he invested that much money and time and that ego.
His actual organization.
How about into his haircuts?
That's a violation.
And that's going to do it for 234 episode of the
God.
Bubba Lutz Sports Podcast. Week 1 preview in the books. We will come back to preview the sad, horrific death of the Cowboys in week 1 against the Bucks. And then later on this week, we'll do the review for that horrific event. And then we got to wait until Tuesday to talk about the Raiders and the Ravens.
Tuesday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for listening, for watching. Subscribe to YouTube. Go on anchor.fm/Bubba Lutz. Become a paid member to this podcast. All the proceeds go to me and making me not have to work for a living. Be great. I
don't think that's how you advertise.
That's how we do it here.
Oh, God.
That's the Mark Davis way. Just win, baby.
God.
Just pay me.
Win.
Just pay me.
Pay me.
And we'll get more Ravens and Raiders on primetime. Thank you so much.
Oh man. Let him, man.
See you later.
Yeah, hold on. Tell me who's your top 5 quarterbacks right now, dead or alive, huh? And how much do you care about a ring if the best player got carried by the team? Now, would you lose if it been a better draft pick?